We're back with another Life on Purpose segment with the young adult leaders at Abundant Faith Christian Center. We have Giselle, first time on Marketplace, and Elise is back. And today I wanted to talk about something I think everyone experiences, and that's distractions. I think for me, when I'm so determined to do something and I want to achieve a goal, there's always some obstacles, distractions that come up or in my way, and it's like, what do I do with this? You know, or sometimes I even go into the distraction. So I wanted to talk about that with you guys. Tell me about a time where you were determined to follow God's will and do something that you were passionate about, but a distraction came about.
Yeah, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say that distractions have been trying to come up like recently in my life. So like with school starting and things like that just popping up, like the schedule being so busy is like a distraction for me, because for me, I don't always see distractions as like bad things in my life. Like sometimes it can be just like good things that we think we're doing for good reasons, but God wants us to like slow down a little bit and like take some of those busyness out so he can put in something that he wants us to do. So
Okay, I get that. Elise, you?
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And I too am very, very busy, and one of the main things for me is social media, because it's so easy to get on TikTok or Instagram and just scroll and lose track of time and stuff like that. So that's one thing for me.
You know, there's actually a study out there that says strolling on social media makes us more bored. It's kind of like it traps us into this, like we're frozen just doing this thing. We're bored when we do it, but we're even more bored when we keep doing it, which is crazy. So, okay, so when it happens where it's like you said, Giselle, there's sometimes you have a distraction where you feel like you're doing a good thing and you get redirected to slow down. Why is it so important that we slow down? How have you guys seen that to be impactful in your life when you just take your time instead of rushing into something when you may miss, you know, a beat when you're doing that?
yeah, I would say for me, slowing down has given me the chance to like try to hear better what God is trying to tell me in my life, or like to just focus on one thing instead of trying to focus on all these different things. You can put more energy into one thing at one time and make it like the best of what you're doing.
So what do you do when you do become distracted, and then sometimes that leads into being convicted because it's like, okay, this is not what I was supposed to be doing, but here you are, and sometimes we make a mess out of all of that. How do we get back onto the right path?
Yeah, I would say first just awareness, like knowing that you're distracted in that moment, and then like kind of repenting, like asking God, like, I'm sorry for being distracted and doing this, and that, when I should be focused on you as well. So that's the first step, I would say.
I will also add on to that and say, ask God to help you to focus on him, because we can't do it out of our own strength. We need God's strength. With everything that's going on in the world, everything that we can get into, we definitely need God's strength to stay on track.
And let's talk about that strength. Even though we get distracted, we feel like we can get ourselves out, we can do this. Talk to me about how we don't do anything, but we have to allow God to do everything. Tell me what you think about that. Releasing our control and giving God the power to work in our lives.
For me, I would say it brings comfort. Like not always having to rely on just myself doing the things, and like just thinking about how God is handling it and he will be able to make the plan come through. I can't remember where exactly it is in the Bible, but it says that humans, like, they make their plans, but God is the one that like pushes it through and like helps it prosper. So
aligns your steps, orders your steps. There's so much that I want to dig into, but of course we're short on time, ladies. But you know, Abundant Faith is always open. Doors are always open at all of the locations. Different ministries, different small groups, like the Young Women Bible Study on Wednesdays, right? But Elise, you also have a podcast that I want to make sure we highlight. Tell us a little bit about the podcast before we go.
So my podcast is Reconcile to End Podcast, and really on there I just share my experiences with what I'm dealing with, because I believe that we all deal with something, and I believe like being real about this walk with God and that it's hard. There's different things that you go through, and I just want to be able to help everyone get through it and let them know that they're not alone. So
yeah. Awesome. I love it. So where can we find it?
It's called Reconciled to Him podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys, there you have it. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Giselle and Elise, thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Thank you.
See you after this.
Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.